Sripad Rajam Sharanam Prapadye. Sripad Shrivallabha Charitaamrutam, a divine biography of Sri Sripad Shrivallabha. Chapter 2. Shankar Bhatt meets Sri Siddhendra Yogi and the story of Vichitrapuram. I, Shankar Bhatt, was recollecting the strange experiences in Marutvamalai and continued my journey while mentally chanting the glorious name of Sripada Shrivallabha. I visited many holy places on the way. I was getting food without soliciting anyone for it. This was a rare experience. I felt that weight of my body was gradually coming down when I reached the Kadamba forest in the Pandya kingdom. There was a Shivalinga of great power. After visiting Ishvara, there my legs became very heavy. I rested for some time in that Shiva's temple and resumed the journey. I found a hermitage nearby. There lived a great person called Sri Siddhendra Yogi. When I prostrated at his lotus feet, my body became lighter than a cotton ball. I was conscious of my body feeling, but the weight of my body had almost become nil. That great preceptor, with a merciful heart, stroked my head and blessed me, saying, "May you have the darshan of Sripad Shrivallabha." That yogi explained, "My son, Shankar Bhatt, the Shivalinga which you have seen is very powerful. In ancient times, Devendra conquered many demons, but one of them escaped. He was doing penance. Indra killed ruthlessly that Rakshasa while he was in the tapas. Indra lost his luster because of his sin in killing one doing tapas. Indra visited many holy places for absolution from the sin. As the Shivalinga in the Kadamba forest of Pandya kingdom was very powerful, all the sins of Indra were removed suddenly when Indra reached Kadamba forest. He wondered at it. With the idea that there was something special and great, he searched the place in all directions. He found a Shivalinga. Indra worshipped that Shivalinga with devotion and constructed a temple for that self-manifested Shivalinga. So that was a Shivalinga consecrated by Indra. That Shivalinga removes all sins and confers all auspiciousness. People with great punya can only see that Shivalinga, but for the devotees of Lord Datta, meeting with pious people and visiting holy places will take place unasked for and without any effort. I again bowed to the lotus feet of Sri Siddhendra Yogi. He asked me to go for the Shivalinga again. When I went there for the second time, I found a beautiful temple of Shiva. That was not the temple which I visited previously. When I inquired, I learned that it was the temple of Sri Meenakshi and Sundareshwara and that I was in the town of Madura. I visited the deities and went to the hermitage of Sri Siddhendra Yogi afterwards. The whole area appeared as a thickly populated township. However, I searched, I could not find the hermitage of the Yogendra. Recollecting the holy name of Sripad Shrivallabha, I was going random in some direction. The sun started to set. It was getting dark. I saw a focus of light coming from rear side. When I turned back, I saw a big serpent with 3 hoods following me. There were 3 diamonds on those 3 hoods. Brilliant light emitted from those diamonds. I was struck with fear. Whenever I stopped, the serpent was also stopping. The divine name of Sripada was swelling up from the depth of my bosom involuntarily. Similarly, the holy name of Sripada was being uttered from my mouth involuntarily. At last, I reached the ashram of Sri Siddha Yogendra. Immediately, the divine serpent and the light disappeared. Sri Siddha Yogendra treated me with utmost compassion. He gave me fried chickpeas in a plantain leaf as prasad. I ate bellyful. The palpitation of my heart did not decrease even though I was taking food. Sri Siddha Yogendra massaged my right breast lightly with love. Afterwards, he touched my head with his holy hand. I noticed the slowing down of palpitation of the heart. I also felt as if some foul gases were coming out of my lungs. I also experienced that all bad thoughts and cruel desires were pushed out of my mind. My body temperature increased and I was in a state of stupor. The greatness of Datta and the qualifications required for obtaining the grace of Sripada. Then Sri Siddha Yogendra started as following. Shankar Bhatt, the Shivalinga which you saw at first, and Sri Sundareshwara, whom you visited later, are not different. Sri Dattatreya ordered that you should be provided with this kind of experience. So it was granted to you accordingly. That means that time was rolled back and the Shivalinga established by Indra and the actual surroundings existing at that time were shown to you. To regard the creation which you witness as real creation is Maya. Everything is embodiment of consciousness. By the will of Lord Datta, future may become present. The consciousness of Lord Datta is eternal present. Whatever happened in the past and whatever is happening at present and whatever is to happen in the future will occur according to the will of Lord Datta. The resolve of Lord Datta is essential for an event to happen. Not to happen or to happen in a different novel way. It's entirely up to Lord Datta. Sri Dattatreya is the personification of that magnificent determination responsible for the creation, sustenance and liquidation. Now he has taken birth on this earth as Sripada Shrivallabha. The residents of Pithapuram did not recognize him properly. They failed to understand the philosophy of a guru. In Kuravpuram, even ignorant persons like fishermen obtained knowledge of the Brahman. To get the grace of Sripad Shrivallabha, the ahankara within us has to be destroyed. All types of pride are to be extinct. Then only we can understand his power, his mercy, and his real nature. A merchant named Dhananjaya found the Shivalinga consecrated by Indra and informed the matter to the ruler Kulashekara Pandya. Following the command of Shiva, Kulashekara Pandya developed it and built a town there. He named it Madhura. His son Malaya Dhwaja Pandya conducted a sacrifice called Putra Kamishti for obtaining progeny. From the altar of that sacrifice, a 3-year-old baby girl emerged as one not born out of the womb. She is Meenakshi Devi. She married Sundareshwara. The Vegavati river, born out of the matted hair of Shiva, is sanctifying Madhura town. Mahavishnu himself donated the bride to the bridegroom and organized the divine marriage of Meenakshi and Sundareshwara in a very grand scale. Sri Siddha Yogendra had added, "My son, Shankar Bhatt, vibrations emanate from every article in the creation. On account of these variegated vibrations, attraction and repulsion takes place with other things. In the gross, subtle and mortal bodies, good vibrations are due to good deeds, and bad vibrations are due to sinful acts. One account of meritorious virtue desired for meeting pious persons, visiting holy places, and interest in righteous deeds will increase. Thereby, the virtuous merit gets enhanced. Unless that virtue increases and sin diminishes, we cannot have steady devotion towards Lord Datta. Variety of incidents happen owing to time, accumulated merit or demerit, or other causes. You could come here only on account of the boundless compassion of Sri Vallabha on you. I was wondering at my extreme fortune and becoming excited in my mind. I was eager to reach Gurupuram and I decided not to leave the holy feet of Sri Vallabha. When I woke up the next morning, I was subjected to amazement and astonishment because I was lying at the base of an Audumbara tree on a hillock. There was no movement of people in the surroundings. Was my stay during the night in the hermitage of Sri Siddhendra Yogi a mere hallucination? Was Sri Siddhendra Yogi a cheat, a magician, or a devil? Such doubts began to creep in my mind. The words of Sri Siddha Yogendra about Sri Datta were resounding in my ears. I wondered as to what use it would be for Sripad Shrivallabha to keep me in such a predicament. Many thoughts were crossing in my mind. I collected my belongings and resumed my journey. My journey continued from morning till noon. I saw a village with small houses. The pangs of hunger increased and troubled me. I am a Brahmin and can take meals only in the house of Brahmins. I cannot take meals elsewhere. I thought of preparing the meals myself if someone provides the materials. Then I can eat such food. I got a doubt whether any Brahmins were living in the village. So I asked some villagers about it. One of them said, "Sir, we are a hill tribe. I am the chief of this hamlet. There are no Brahmins in our village. You can accept fruits and honey from us if you have no objection." There is an adage that one can behave like a Loka Shudra on the way during travels. Therefore, I considered that it was not wrong to accept anything offered from anybody in the course of travel. They placed before me fruits and honey from ant hills available in those ravines. When I was about to eat, a crow came from somewhere and started pecking me on my head. I tried to drive it away, but in vain. In the meanwhile, some more crows gathered. They started pecking my body in all spots. I was panic-stricken and began to run. Those crows were chasing me. There was no one in that village who could help me. The chief of the village spoke. "Oh, what a strange thing! In our area, crows do not harm anyone. We wonder why these crows are so ferocious and obstinate to harm you. You must have abused a siddha purusha or dishonored him. You are undergoing this punishment because of this curse. If we are to obstruct the course of punishment, we also have to incur the wrath of that sage. So we will not try to change the course of the divine play. Please do not misunderstand." After saying this, the chief kept quiet. I could not take the fruits and honey given to me. My body became blood-stained. The crows chased and injured me even though I was running. I felt extremely sad at my dismal state. Has Sri Siddha Yogendra cursed me because I doubted him? But he had blessed me that I would have the fortune of seeing Sripad Shrivallabha. Probably I cannot have the darshan of Lord Sri Datta unless all my sins accumulated from past births are completely destroyed. I do not know how many sinful deeds I had amassed, how many punishments like this I have to suffer if all those sins are to be washed out. Oh, are so many difficulties and dangers involved in the blessings bestowed for darshan of Sri Vallabha? Oh God, still how many punishments you want to inflict on me? Now who can save me? Sripada Shrivallabha, save me, save me. Sharanu, Sharanu, Sripada Shrivallabha. With such thoughts of absolute surrender, I slowly reached the root portion of an Audumbara tree. I thought that the Audumbara tree, which is residing center of Lord Sri Datta, would protect me. But the sport of Lord Sri Datta ran contrary to my hope. Any unprecedented foul smell was spreading from my body. Attracted by that odious odor, or by the irony of fate being poisonous snakes were coming in a row quickly. They were biting me and leaving quickly. I was troubled by crows before. Now my entire body became poisonous because of the bites from these venomous serpents. Foam was coming out from my mouth. The strength of my heart began to decline. I thought that I was sure to die at any moment. It was evening dusk. Some washermen were going that way. They washed, dried, and bundled the dry clothes. They kept the bundles on the back of the donkeys and were going. They noticed my miserable plight, but they hesitated to touch me for some time because I am a Brahmin. As delay might endanger my life, they regarded saving life was of prime importance. Hence, they seated me on a donkey and took me to their village. For me, all troublesome incidents were taking place in a procession on that day. The washerman took me to the colony of cobblers. One of those tanners had knowledge of medicine relating to poison. They kept me on a cot, the bottom of which laced with cords of tickin. The premises was full of bad smell. That cobbler physician made some juice from wild herbs. He made me drink that juice. He tied some leaves on the points where snakes had bitten me. He plucked some tender leaves from an Audumbara tree. Juice like milk was flowing from those leaves. He kept stems of those leaves in my 2 ears. I was getting terrible pain. I tried to get up and run away. Two strong men held me firmly. I was helpless. That physician instructed his assistants, the poison will come into the Audumbara leaves. After that, you have to burn those poisonous leaves. The man will cry much louder as the poison increasingly gets transferred to the Audumbara leaves. So you hold him firmly. After some time, the poison was neutralized. I became healthy. I stayed in the house of the cobbler all through the night. The skin tanner was singing during the whole night. Datta Digambara, Datta Digambara, Sripada Vallabha, Datta Digambara. I was lying on the cot. My heart swelled on hearing the extremely melodious names of the Lord. My love for the cobbler enhanced because he became my co-disciple of our Guru due to the spiritual relationship. In the next moment, I was pained with the realization that I was born in a superior Brahmin caste and he was a low caste cobbler. The teaching of a cobbler called Vallabhadas to Shankar Bhatt. After completing the singing, the cobbler came to me. The compassion was overflowing from his eyes. His two eyes were suggesting the experience of self. A doubt crept in my mind whether he was some yogi. He turned to me and said, Sir, my name is Vallabhadasu. I am an artisan doing work with the hides of animals. I was born in a low caste. There is no doubt about it. Nevertheless, I want to tell you some information. I already knew that your name is Shankar Bhatt and that you are traveling to visit Sripad Shrivallabha. Not only that, I also know why you were harassed by crows and snakes on the way. I was astonished. I thought that probably he made some study of astrology and acquired some proficiency in the subject. Vallabhdas said, Sir, I am not an astrologer. Sri Kshetra Pithapuram is the birthplace of great scholars. It is the holy place where Sangha, Vedartha, Samrat Pandit Malladi Bapanavadhani actually lived. The Vedas, while attempting to describe the Supreme Being, became tired in the process. They could not pinpoint the phenomenon correctly and simply ruled out, saying, "This is not, this is not." Such is the nature of the Supreme Being. Pithapuram is the sacred place where that supreme phenomenon is born as Sripada Shrivallabha. Dry philosophy and meaningless debates cannot earn the grace of Sripada Shrivallabha. There is no need for scholarly excellence to obtain the mercy of Sripada. On the other hand, pedantic pride will throw us far away from him. The crows that pecked at you were great pandits who lived in Pithapuram during their previous lives. They could not recognize the divine nature of Sripad Shrivallabha, and they could not realize him as Lord Datta. Thus they wasted their whole lives. They could recite Vedas upside down, but what is the use? They were repeating words like Krama, Ghana, Jata, Swadhyaya, and exhibiting their arrogance. After death, they went to heaven. Indra praised them. He showered praise on them, saying, "Oh, you are Kramanta. You are Ghanapati. You are Jati. Oh, you are an expert in Taraka. What a fortune! How many hundreds and thousands of times you have recited Vedas! What a merit! What a merit! Only because of that merit you stepped into Swarga." All the denizens of Indra Loka admired them sky high. However, these pandits suffered the pangs of hunger. Divine ambrosia was available in the heaven. They heard that one is freed from hunger and thirst by drinking it. These people directly submitted their problem to Indra, as none of them paid any heed to them. To that, Indra replied, "Veda is the form of Lord's inhalation and exhalation. Lord is infinite and deathless. Therefore, Vedas are also infinite. Vedas are the basis for all dharmas. By chanting Vedas, you have praised the Lord. As a reward for it, we, the celestials, are also praising you highly. Otherwise, is it possible for you to get these things from me? If one desires food, he must provide food to others. If one donates a grain, we, the celestials, enhance it to 1,000 grains and return them to the donor as a reward. When you have not donated anything, how can we help? Because of your Vedic recitation, you derived immense benefit. Therefore, you can reside freely in the Indra Loka as long as it exists. Afterwards, you can go to another world. In this way, you can remain eternally free." Those who heard the words of Indra faced a difficult situation. It occurred to them that to live eternally without food and suffer prolonged hunger and thirst was indeed an unbearable punishment. Indra said again, "You lived in the holy Padagaya Kshetra, but you performed annual ceremonies to means of your ancestors without care and concern. You were always calculating the expenditure that you had to do for such functions. You were also absorbed in the thought that you were eating delicious food items, but you were also devoid of care and devotion required for performance of these ceremonies. As a result, your forefathers did not attain noble positions after their death. Your heirs were also behaving like that. Your children also did not lament that you lived too long, and a large amount of money was wasted on medical facilities provided to you. They even wondered, oh, how much food was wasted. Sriman Narayana himself incarnated as Sripada Shrivallabha in front of you. When he was showing the way for salvation, you abused him. You indulged in fruitless arguments and counter-arguments. Even though all the auspicious traits like omnipresence, omniscience, omnipotence, and qualities of an incarnation were clearly visible, you became blind people who could not recognize Sripad Shrivallabha as an avatar of Sri Datta. It is ordained that you remain as crows in the forms of the manes of your ancestors till you drink the blood of a person whose body was purified by chanting of the sacred name of Sripada Shrivallabha. Sri Vallabhdas said, Shankar Bhatt, it was for that reason they were born as crows, and on account of their previous merit, they drank your blood and obtained noble status. Then I noticed that Vallabhdas was not an ordinary person and that the grace of Sripada Shrivallabha was completely on him. Sri Vallabhdas added, Sir, the serpents who attracted by the scent emanating from your body attained salvation. I said, Sir, great Vallabhdasji, why should this incident take place? If my body were to use as a food for the crows, the serpents, and other living creatures, it would be a harrowing experience for me. I am under constant fear of being attacked by any creature at that time. Sri Vallabhdas said, Sir, this is all a sportive play of Sripada. Don't have such fear. Such accidents would not take place in future. Only the one who gives life will have the authority to take out life. Therefore, such authority is not vested in anyone except God. However, some of your ancestors worshipped goddess Kali of the burial ground. With the help of that mantra, they killed many persons whom they disliked. They earned great sin because they were responsible for unnatural deaths of those people. Due to that sin, they took births as snakes, but as you were also born in their family, you were all blood relations. Moreover, you obtained the mercy of Sripada. Because of the small merit, this incident took place and they got salvation. A Brahmin should be a seeker of truth. A Kshatriya should be bound by dharma. A Vaishya should attend to cultivation, protection of cattle, skilled sale and purchase activities. Therefore, he should be a calm person. A Shudra should be a loving one and render services. Even then, there is no distinction between caste, creed, rich and poor for the grant of divine grace. A Brahmin can follow the duty of Kshatriya and can become a king. When a Kshatriya desires knowledge of Brahmin, he can adopt the duty of a Brahmin. Had not Kusuma Sreshti, who was a Vaishya caste, chose Kshatriya dharma and became a ruler? According to Brahmanic dharma, killing an enemy is sinful, but in Kshatriya dharma, it is a prescribed duty. You are a Brahmin and a seeker of truth. Therefore, non-violence is a supreme duty for you, but not for the butcher. So, if a man wants to get proper results from his actions, he should perform the duties according to the dharma adopted by him, irrespective of the caste to which he belongs. As you are presently ill, it is desirable and necessary that you should be with a doctor. That is why you are brought to me. Please note that Sripad Shrivallabha will observe us every moment. In your childhood, you were reciting the prayers about Lord Vishnu. You were prattling with your friends in a funny manner. It is indeed a prayer for Lord Ganesha, for the words in the shloka, Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye. You were giving a perverted interpretation for the sake of fun. You were giving the following meanings. Shuklam Baradharam, that which bears white clothes. Vishnum, that which is everywhere. Shashivarnam, white ash colored. Chaturbhujam, 4 legs instead of 4 hands. Prasannavadanam, the ass which will have a gracious face when it brays, or the ass will kick people with its hind legs. Dhyayet, so its face is only pleasant to look at. Sarva Vignopashantaye, I pray for the abatement of all obstacles. In this way, you are jokingly giving a perverse meaning to that holy prayer and extended its meaning as a prayer applicable to an ass. Shankar Bhatt, Lord Datta is a skilled one. The Lord would rectify the mistakes also made by you for fun in His presence. The washerman brought you to me on a donkey. After that time, you were covered with dust and bore an ash color. You came here with halting pace, and sometimes you walked on all your fours, supporting yourself on your hands placed on the ground. Even though you came to the Audumpara tree on all your fours, gasping for your breath, you could not avoid the accident. Your hope of escaping from the serpents in this way was belied. You had a placid countenance if you do not convulse with pain. At last you were brought to the village of cobblers. In subjecting you to so many miseries, Sripada provided entertainment and taught you a lesson. Those tanners were freed from their ignoble births. You were teaching the prayer shloka of Sri Vishnu to your friend in a funny manner. This is the reason why you have come to a position where you have to hear the teaching of a low caste person like me. Now you are here. Tomorrow you may stay in the house of your own caste people. If you disclose this incident even by mistake, they will ostracize you. With the good teaching of Sri Vallabhdas, the Brahmanic arrogance in me decreased. The feeling disappeared that Vallabhdas was a pariah. I had brotherly love for him, as if he was my blood relation. I accepted the hospitality of Vallabhdas for 2 or 3 days and left the village afterwards. What can I describe about the mercy of Sri Vallabha? I was involved in a very strange circumstances in a town called Vichitrapuram and came out in a strange way. When I was going on foot from Vichitrapuram, some royal servants approached me with humble obedience and enquired whether I was a Vaishnava or a Shaiva. I told them that we were Smarthas who observed no distinction between Shiva and Keshava, but we showed inclination towards Shaivism, and that pontiff of southern monastery, Sri Sringeri Shankaracharya, was our preceptor. They requested me to visit their king. I went with them for the royal audience. On the way, I understood some peculiar matters. That king was inviting any Brahmin who was seen on that day and questioning, if this much is for that much, how much will be for this much? No one could give a satisfactory answer to that question. That king conducted a sacrifice some years back to get sons. Fortunately, he got a son. However, from that day, Brahmins faced peculiar troubles, as the son born to the king became a mute. The king was of the opinion that because of the defective sacrifice performed by the Brahmins, his son became dumb. Therefore, the king got the heads of the Shaivite Brahmins completely shaved, marked their faces with the paint of vertical Vaishnavite lines, and paraded them on the back of donkeys. Likewise, he got the heads of Vaishnavite Brahmins cleanly shaved, marked their faces with horizontal lines made of holy ash, and paraded them seated on the back of donkeys. The situation became unbearable to both the Shaivas and the Vaishnavas. The king suddenly began to behave in a quixotic fashion. He was donating thotakura, a green leafy vegetable, liberally to the Brahmins. He ordered that the thotakura should be cultivated in a large acre of cultivable land. He was collecting half of the taxes in the form of thotakura. Cartloads of thotakura were collected and kept in the fort. Thotakura was donated in very large quantities and Brahmins could not consume it fully. Cooking of rice and eating of other foods was forbidden for the Brahmins. After eating cooked thotakura in the main meals, they had to eat cooked and uncooked thotakura as tiffin. What can the poor Brahmins do? All the Brahmins who took great pride as scholars in logic, scholars in philosophy, and scholars in Puranas shared their arrogance and were praying to God, silently, pitiably, to redress their evil plight. There was a devotee of Datta who was an ardent follower of Datta cult among the Brahmins. He said that Lord Dattatreya becomes merciful at mere remembrance, and the Lord only can remove their miserable condition. Therefore, all the Brahmins observed Mandala Diksha, a spiritual discipline for 40 days, and started worshipping Lord Dattatreya. After his son was dumb, the king wanted to encourage the language for the dumb. He instructed the Rajaguru to write a book on the language of the dumb. That preceptor of the royal court was formerly very haughty. Then he was in a very miserable state and undertook extensive research in the mute language. The discussion between Shankar Bhatt and Maharaja. I was taken before the king. I was perspiring profusely. I thought about how much rigorous test Sri Srivallabha imposed upon me. I was mentally chanting the name of Sripada without any pause. I was getting courage which I never did possess before. The king posed the same question which he asked all the people. He asked me, if that much becomes this much, how much this much becomes? I replied solemnly, this much only for this much. The king was taken aback and said, Mahatma, you are great. I became blessed on seeing you. Only recently I had recollection of the knowledge of my past lives. I was a very poor Brahmin in my previous birth. I was growing thotakura in my house. I was offering it freely to all those who asked for it. The Brahmins who received it from me were all wealthy and did not suffer from want of food and water. They simply took the vegetables from me but did not cooperate with me on any day. They did not show any mercy on me. Whenever they were deputing me on their behalf for annual ceremonies of ancestors or for marriages, the householders used to give me large amounts of money and presents. Out of this, the people who were deputing me were snatching 99% and releasing 1% for me. Labor was mine and reward was theirs. In addition, they were getting free supply of thotakura from my house. I was suffering from acute poverty, but continued to donate thotakura as usual. Those Brahmins were saying that the vegetable was very tasty and no harm would happen by eating it daily. The circle of time rotated swiftly. As I was donating thotakura, in spite of my abject poverty, I am born as a king in this birth. Those Brahmins who received that green vegetable from me took birth as Brahmins in my kingdom. In this way, I was born many times richer and greater than them. By donating thotakura, I became a king. So I am donating greater quantities of vegetable in cartloads. So I am asking everyone who would be the magnificent state I would achieve in future as a result of my present donation. You only gave a correct answer to my peculiar question. The king concluded his speech. Then I explained, Raja, thotakura was very valuable under the circumstances of your previous life. But considering your present exalted position, its value is negligible. Being in a position to donate diamonds, precious stones, and gold, you're still donating thotakura. So, how much you donate that green leafy vegetable, you cannot get anything more except 100 times of that thotakura. The king was very much pleased with my reply. It gave me great relief to my mind that for my casual reply, the king gave an account of his previous life. I felt that owing to the great grace of Sripada, the dishonor of riding an ass was avoided. I had already mounted a donkey for misinterpreting of the sacred verse of Shuklambar Vishnu for fun in my childhood. I offered salutations in my mind to Sripada, who saved me from riding an ass in a disgraceful condition. Then started the second test. The test was held in the language of the dumb, which was very much dear to the king. The Rajaguru began to examine me. Showing his fingers, the Rajguru questioned me with signs whether it was 1 or 2. I thought that he was asking me whether I came alone or I was accompanied by one. I replied with signs showing one finger that came singly. Then he showed me three fingers. That suggested to me about Lord Dattatreya. I assumed that he was inquiring whether I was a devotee of Datta. I felt that devotion should be kept a secret, so I showed a closed fist and conveyed the message that it was a secret matter which belonged to the innermost heart. For that, the Rajaguru offered sweets, requesting me with gestures to accept. I refused to accept and I showed a pack of flattened rice. I took some flattened rice from the bundle and gave them. My idea was that I like flattened rice more than sweets and that they could also partake them. Then the Rajaguru, in a profound voice, praised Raja. He is a great Pandit. It is known that he is a great Vedic scholar who mastered all Vedas. He is a great expert in sign language of the deaf. All of this was perplexing to me. Then Rajaguru told the king, Raja, I asked him whether Shiva and Keshava are one or are they different. Showing one finger, he said that both are one. I showed them three fingers, indicating that Trinity Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesha exist differently. He replied by showing his closed fist and questioned, Are not the five fingers of one hand existing collectively as one? I offered him sweetmeats, requesting him to accept me as his disciple. Thereupon he indicated that he is not bothered with disciples and that he leads a contented life in Kuchela. Saying so, he turned down my request and gave me parched and flattened rice. I was astonished. Oh, I wondered, how vastly varied are the methods of understanding minds and thoughts in the world. Then, the third and final examination. Rajaguru was reading the mantras from Rudra Chamaka and wanted me to explain their meaning. Remembering Sripad Shrivallabha, I began to expatiate their meaning according to my knowledge. Ekachame means one, Trisrachame means number 3, added to the previous one, it is 4, and its mathematical root is 2. Panchachame is addition of 5 to the previous arrived 4, that gives 9, and its mathematical root is 3. Saptachame signifies the addition of 7 to the already arrived number 9. The total is 16, and the root of it is 4. Navachame means adding 9 to the already derived number 16. The total works out to 25 and the root is 5. Ekadashachame involves addition of 11 to the number 25 already worked out. The total is 36 and its root is 6. Trayodashachame is addition of 13 to previous 36. The total comes to 49 and its mathematical root is 7. Panchadashachame means adding 15 to the number 49. The total is 64 and its root is 8. Saptadashachame is 17 plus 64 equals to 81 and the mathematical root is 9. The other factors are as following. Navadasashchame is 19 plus 81 is 100, its root is 10. Ekavingasatishchame means 21 plus 100 is 121 and its root is 11. Trayavingasatishchama is 23 plus 121 is 144 and its root is 12. Panchavingasatishchame is 25 plus 144 is 169 and its root is 13. Saptavingasatishchame is 27 plus 169 that's equal to 196 and its root is 14. Navavingasatishchame is 29 plus 196 is 225 and its root is 15. Ekatriyam Satishchame is 31 plus 225 equals to 256 and its root is 16. The above details are shown in the following way for better understanding. Ekachame 1 plus 0, 0, 0 is 0, 0, 1 and its root is 0, 1. Trisra chame is 0, 3 plus 0, 0, 1 is equal to 0, 0, 4 and its root is 0, 2. Panchachami is 0, 5 plus 0, 0, 4 equals 0, 0, 9 and its root is 0, 3. Saptachami is 0, 7 plus 0, 0, 9 is equals to 0, 1, 6. Its root is 0, 4. Navachami is 0, 9 plus 0, 1, 6 equals to 0, 25. Its root is 0, 5. Ekadashachami is 11 plus 0, 2, 5 equals 0, 3, 6 and its root is 0, 6. Trayodasachami is 13 plus 0, 3, 6 is equal to 0, 4, 9 and its root is 0, 7. Panchadasachami is 15 plus 0, 4, 9 equals to 0, 6, 4. Its root is 0, 8. Saptadasachami is 17 plus 0, 6, 4 equals to 0, 8, 1. Its root is 0, 9. Navadasachami is 19 plus 0, 8, 1 equals to 100. Its root is 10. Ekavinga Satishchami is 21 plus 100 is equal to 121. Its root is 11. Trayovinga Satishchami is 23 plus 121 equals to 144 and its root is 12. Panchavinga Satishchami is 25 plus 144 equals to 169. Its root is 13. Saptavinga Satishchami is 27 plus 169 equals to 196. Its root is 14. Navavinga Satishchami is 29 plus 196 equals to 225. Its root is 15. Ekatriyam Satishchami is 31 plus 225 equals to 256. Its root is 16. I explained it in the foregoing manner, the mathematical mysteries enshrined in the Vedic mantras of Rudra Chamaka. The above explanation of addition of number brings to light the mathematical genius of our ancestors. Modern concepts of arithmetical progression, geometrical progression, and other scientific formulae are to be found in these Vedic texts. My explanation was highly appreciated by the scholars of the court. I was amazed at my own explanation. Again, I added, all this is about the mystery of atoms responsible for creation. This was known to sage Kannada. Various metals form according to the different arrangement of the number of atoms. On account of the great mercy of Sripad Shrivallabha, I came out of the Vichitrapuram in a strange way in the above manner. Sripad Rajam Sharanam Prapadye.